Hey gang, Jake here. Smash DLC is always a subject of massive debate in the community. I don't need to tell you that, but it is true. And it's a community of discussion that I just eat up. I love just thinking about how each of the passes stack up, which ones I love, which ones I don't love, all that garbage. However, there's one specific subject in Smash DLC that I don't feel gets a lot of coverage, and it is absolutely of unparalleled importance. The spirits. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to rank all of the passes purely by the spirit boards they bring. Full disclosure, I know we're down 2 boards, and maybe I'll update this video when they release, but for now I'm working with what we got. Also, keep in mind that every spirit battle is like a medium amount of fun, and I am essentially ranking collections of PNGs, so please don't take anything too seriously, and let's begin. Let's start this off with the absolute weakest of the spirit boards. Banjo-Kazooie. I think the obvious thing that limits this board is the small size. There's only 7 spirits to fight. That's pretty weak, especially compared to some of the later boards on the list. In addition, the art is honestly just not aesthetically pleasing. Like, sure, it's representative of Banjo-Kazooie, but that doesn't mean it looks good. It doesn't help this board's case that none of the fights are super memorable either. Gruntilda is a mad, unsatisfying finale considering how much Madama Butterfly, or literally any poison immunity spirit, can declaw. Final rating, 3 out of 10. Dragon Quest has a lot of problems in common with Banjo-Kazooie, as well as a lot that are unique to it. To start, the size is still pretty underwhelming, although this is aided by the fact that you can add a fight against the Tockles just by having save data for the Dragon Quest XI demo. The spirits themselves are also disappointing though. They do a great job of showcasing Dragon Quest's iconic art style, but there's no memorable characters or fights mixed in. Lastly, the Legend Spirit downright sucks. Heroes Comrades is honestly so annoying to fight, it loses all of its appeal. This one's not much better than BK. 3.5 out of 10. This one's in a weird spot, honestly. All of these spirits are fairly fun to fight, the music's great, and the boss is a nice mix of frustrating and unique, but the board has one big issue. Half of these spirits are recycled from the base game. Now, for a normal, sane person, this wouldn't be a big deal. Most people ignore spirits for the other content anyways. But I'm not ranking these based on the passes, I'm ranking these based on an arbitrary collection of pictures with weird fights. And on that basis, this board kinda sucks. 4 out of 10. The Three Houses board is in another weird spot. The music's great, the amount is solid, none of them are reused, and the art's pretty nice, but there's still 2 big issues. 1, these fights are kinda bland. There's not a lot that has to be done in these matches that make them feel unique. 2, Sothis straight up makes no sense as the final spirit. She's a brain ghost that never fights except for in Heroes. Why isn't this Nemesis? I just don't get that choice. 6 out of 10. So this spirit board is actually kinda neat. The art's really cool and the fights are all fun, but I've got 2 big issues with it. First off, I don't feel like the Geese fight is very representative of Geese as a character. I'll admit I'm not entirely up to date on Fatal Fury lore, but from what I've seen in KOF All-Star and Tekken 7, Geese is a massive, imposing figure that's more than happy to remove your spleen. But in Smash, he's just like a Mii Brawler, and he's got Zelda hair. I'm guessing they didn't want to use Ganondorf for another bad guy, which is fair considering they already used him for M. Bison, but I figure if the shoe fits, might as well wear it. Also, this board has a severe illness I call the spirit board fights and the classic mode fights are the same fights disorder. This isn't a big issue, but it is slightly disappointing, especially compared to passes that get really cool neat spirit fights, and really cool neat classic mode gimmicks. I don't know, it's not a major deal, but it is slightly lame. 6.5 out of 10. Okay, so I know this sounds bad, but hear me out. I swear this isn't just bias. I know this board does the same fighty recycle thing that I yelled at ARMS for, which is garbage, and we also get some awesome adjustments to spirits currently in the game. Spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, of course. 3, 2, 1. But the Poppy Alpha fight referencing her new forms is super neat, and Rex's Master Driver outfit is really cool to see. In addition, we get 2 fantastic pieces of Nomura art, one for Jin and one for Malos. Also, new art for Numa, which didn't exist before and looks like heaven. Okay, yeah, it's kinda just bias. 8 out of 10. Number 7. Minecraft's in an interesting spot here. It's got a lot of what I want. There's lots of variety, the fights aren't tedious, the music's good, and the boss is unique. Honestly, this could trade spots with Persona 5 realistically, but it's got one big issue for me. A bad case of Spirit Board fights and Classic Mode fights are the same fights disorder. It's worse this time around. Pretty much every Classic Mode fight is just a spirit battle without a reward. But still, this is a pretty damn solid lineup. 9 out of 10. Now this is the good shit. Is it just bias? Probably, but I'm not going to pretend the references aren't cool as hell. Yusuke is represented by Chrom, who he shares both his Japanese and English VAs with. Makoto's got an invisible Wario summoning bikes to represent Johanna. Igor's constantly summoning Ridleys because those are the personas in your Persona Compendium. That's the coolest shit ever. My only major issue with this board is that the finale, the fight against the Phantom Thieves, is just their individual fights again. That's pretty damn lame, especially for a game like Persona with like 5 million fights that'd make for great legend class spirits. Even if you want to avoid spoilers, I'd love to fight the Reaper. In conclusion, 9 out of 10. And lastly, this one's kinda obvious. The Final Fantasy VII Spirit board nails just about everything. The fights are great, the art is great, there's a perfect amount of fights, there's a perfect amount of uniqueness and variety. You get party members, you get boss fights, you get summons. I ain't even a Final Fantasy VII fan and I know this shit's dope. Final Fantasy VII gets a 10 out of 10. Hey gang, thank y'all for watching. I know that this video kinda sounds like I phoned it in, and I kinda did. It was something that I wanted to talk about, but I am glad to have it over with. I needed some time to focus on myself. My personal life's getting insanely busy right now, so having an easy topic to cover was really nice. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled Framemakers content next upload. If you enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy those, so please consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, doing the Twitter, the whole 9 yards. You guys know the drill. And I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll see you later. Peace out.